One of the most helpful bits of composition advice I've ever received was from my first composition teacher. And it was simply this. He's told me, nothing can change until something is established. That was it. And when I started to think about the implications of that, I realized how far-reaching it is into the art of composition. Maybe it's because music is such an abstract art that much of the communication comes through establishing and breaking expectations. But when you're excited about composing and want to make something fun or surprising or energetic, sometimes you get into trying to do too much before setting a baseline. If you want to have a surprising moment, it needs to be contrary to what people are expecting. And to set up expectations, you need repetition or some sort of something predictable. This is something that's come up over and over in various guises in my journey as a composer. Most recently, I'm working on music for a level editor for the super cool game Super Dungeon Designer. Steam link in the description. You can put it on your wish list. I'm really excited about playing it. The level editor, I want to write something pretty minimal, and minimalism is something I've always enjoyed listening to but really struggled to write. So in this case, the reason I'm thinking minimalism is I want to make a track that you can listen to on repeat for hours and not get annoyed by, but at the same time, I don't want it to be distracting. So it needs to be very simple, not a lot of surprises, not a lot of change, but also not completely static. And so the idea of nothing can change until something is established plays out here, where because so much is established, because so much will be the same and repeated, every little change I make is meaningful. And so I have to be really, really careful about how I do that. I haven't solved it. I'm working on it for a couple of weeks, and I just can't get that balance right. It's much easier for me to write complicated music with lots of chords, lots of rhythms, lots of instruments, everything changing all the time. But for this, I want to keep the instrumentation the same. I want to keep the register the same, everything sort of at the same height. I want to keep the texture pretty similar, no gaps, not a lot of dynamics. I don't want to build a lot of energy into the piece. I'm not building to a climax. I want it to maybe ebb and flow a little bit over the course of however long the loop is. I'm aiming for 4 minutes. It's a lot to not do, and to work with that limited palette, create something unique, something that is not boring, but also not interesting. I haven't figured it out. When I do, I'll let you know. See ya.